This is my gift that I got for Christmas from my wife. It's a monitor, it's 4K, it has very specific dimensions, but we're not here to talk about this monitor. I need a desk so I can clamp this monitor to it, but here's the catch. We are currently living in Japan, and in less than 3 months we're gonna move back to Europe. That's why I don't really want to buy an expensive desk that I will have to move halfway around the world. And if I'm honest, I'd rather spend the money to build it myself than to buy it. I don't know, it just feels special when you are using something that you built yourself. Anyway, I really want to keep the cost as low as possible. That's why the other day, while I was in a 100 yen shop, I bought pre-cutted pieces of MDF and I will use them to build my tabletop. Only cost me, with the wood glue, 1,200 yen, so it's roughly $8. My plan is to build a tabletop for my desk for only $8. Oh, I forgot, I also have zero tools here with me. I left everything back in France where my stuff are. It's gonna be challenging, but I think I can manage. Let's go. So all you see on the table is everything I got for only $8. As I mentioned, I have no tools here with me in Japan, so what you see me prepare here is some paracord and some CA glue. That's gonna be my clamping system. Obviously this technique is not gonna be as efficient as clamps, but like I said, I don't have clamps, so I'm gonna use the core to make everything tight and hope for the best. I'm now applying wood glue, and in between I'm leaving a little bit of space. That's where I'm gonna apply this CA glue. The CA glue will dry up much faster than the wood glue, so it helps me keep everything together until the wood glue dries up. And to add a little bit more of tension, I'm using the paracord with the tourniquet technique. That's also useful if somebody's bleeding and you want to stop the bleeding. So using the chopsticks or a pen, I'm just gonna wrap it up around the cord. That's gonna put a lot of tension on the two boards until the wood glue is completely dry. Now that everything is dry, I can remove the cords. As you can see, I have the two same pieces now. I'm gonna flip around this one and I'm dry fitting it to see how it looks. I decided not to clamp the three boards together at the beginning because I wasn't sure that it's gonna stay straight, because like I said, I don't have clamps and with the cord it's not that efficient. So yeah, I decided to make it in two parts and put everything together afterward. So I now need to measure the perfect length for this part, and then I'm gonna use the only tool I got here, and I wouldn't call it a tool because I bought it more as a souvenir. It's a folding Japanese saw. Because I love Japanese carpentry, I just got this as a souvenir for myself while I'm living in Japan. But as you can see, it's really tiny, but hey, it did the job and it came in really handy. While the glue up is drying, as you can see, I just added some tape. It's not that efficient, but at least it's gonna put a little bit of tension on the sides. What I wanna do also is here in the middle, I don't know if you can see, there's quite a bit of a flex. So what I wanna do is add more of these here down in the middle and maybe sideways, just to make it stronger, so when I clamp the monitor to it, it's gonna be sturdy and I'm not gonna be scared that the monitor is gonna just rip the tabletop apart. That's what I'm gonna do now while it's drying up, adding support in the middle. At this point, I'm sure you're thinking the same thing that I was thinking at that moment. I really made my life harder than it had to be, but that was the choice of the route I wanted to go, and I had to stick with it, and at the end it worked out, so no problem. Time to add the last piece to close up the tabletop, let the glue dry, and I was done, at least for the tabletop. So now that my tabletop is almost finished, I still need to make it pretty. I also needed legs. I just found my perfect solution on IKEA. I bought these 4 legs for 2,000 yen, 500 each. It's around $14, so it's the cheapest I found and the solution that's also gonna fit my needs. Let me just show you the legs I got. After that, we could mount them on the tabletop. This is the moment I realized that because my MDF boards are pretty thin and my tabletop is basically an empty shell, the screws will not have a lot of things to grip on the inside. At the end I went with it anyway and it turned out to be working pretty good. The legs are strong enough and it's supporting the tabletop. So it was time to flip the table on its legs, and I must say this table is really lightweight, and that got me a little bit worried because I wasn't sure it's gonna be strong enough to support this pretty big screen, pretty heavy. That's why you see me put this entire box carefully on the table and try to move it around, but it was strong. I was happy. And here it is, my desk. It's not finished, of course. I still need to make it beautiful, but I just wanted to see in the spot where it's gonna be how it fits, and I must say I'm pretty happy. It looks pretty good. I know myself, I know that with the proper tools, the proper materials, and maybe a little bit more money invested into this project, I would have been able to make something much sturdier that would last for much longer than just 2 or 3 months. But with the tools that I have here in Japan, which is almost nothing, I did a pretty good job, and I wanted to keep the budget as low as possible. We are on to $22 I think of budget, and I just can't wait to clamp the monitor onto the desk just to see how it looks, and after that I'm gonna start to make it beautiful. So while I was working on the cosmetics of the tabletop, the only thing that I had in my head was, is it gonna be strong enough to support the screen with the clamping system of the screen? And if I'm honest, I wasn't that confident, so make sure to stick around until the end of the video to see if my tabletop is gonna survive the clamping on my big screen, or am I gonna do a big and expensive mistake. to keep the costs as low as possible, I will be using this Mosu Black, that's the blackest paint in the world. I used it in a previous video to paint my shoes. I will put the link in the description below if you want to check. It was a really fun project. I wasn't sure how it's gonna turn out because I know that MTF is not the easiest to paint because it absorbs a lot of paint, and this paint is really specific because it's like the blackest paint in the world. So yes, I tried it anyway, and I think at the end the result was pretty interesting. It was time to take out this big ass arm and attach this big ass clamp to the desk and see if my build is strong enough to hold the weight of my monitor and my computer. This is my gift that I got for Christmas from my wife. It's a monitor, it's 4K, it has very specific dimensions, but we're not here to talk about this monitor.